GV650 here. Another part that I ordered off the internet were these two oil filters from my Hyosung GV650 Aquila, and I'm going to install them for you guys and show you how you change your oil. So I ordered this from Kickstart Moto from eBay. It was $24.95 delivered. So here's the two little O-rings and two filters. You only use one filter, but it's just economical to purchase two. They're not specific branding or anything, there's nothing printed on them like the original ones have, but they look much the same. With the Hyosung GV650 Aquila, it's recommended that every 6,000 kilometers that you change the oil and the oil filters. This is the oil that I got. It's a Castrol Power 1 GPS 4T part synthetic 10 weight 40. It is pretty expensive, it costs $68 for 4 litres. So the first thing you should do is look up in your service manual to see how much oil you will require to do both the oil change and the filter. For this motorcycle, Hyosung GV650, it will use 3.2 litres when I change the oil and filter. If it's just the oil and keeping the filter in there, then it's only 3 litres. A handy thing to have is one of these 1 litre oil bottles. Makes it so much easier when you measure the oil when you put it in there. Another thing you'll need is a oil pan to collect the old used oil. You'll need a 10mm socket to undo the 3 nuts for your oil filter, and you'll need a 17mm ring spanner to undo the sump oil cap on there to drain the oil out of the bike. So before you do your oil change, just run the bike for a couple of minutes so that way the oil is hot and it'll drain out a lot easier. You don't want it to be too hot though because it'll burn your hands. Well, there is your sump oil. You take that out and it will drain. These 3 here though are to take out the whole plate here. There's a metal mesh behind it that can capture any large chunks of metal or anything from your engine. So you only need to take these out when you do a major service, and also the first 1,000 kilometer service. So once you've loosened up that bolt, don't take it off just yet, put it onto your tray to catch the oil. So it's a good idea to have a rag handy to wipe off any oil. As that's draining, loosen up the oil filling cap just to allow it to flow out a bit easier. And you'll notice on your plug it's got a magnet on the end, so if any metal filings are caught in the oil, they'll sit on the end of the plug. Now that all the oil's drained, what you want to do now is remove this oil filter cap. What you need to do is remove these 3 nuts using a 10mm spanner or a ratchet. Careful not to lose that bracket. When you take it off, you will get some oil drip through, so get a rag and wipe that. When you take out the last bolt, apply pressure because it's spring loaded. So that's a spring. It's always good to inspect that seal there, make sure it's alright. It may need replacing, and you can buy that online. But this one's pretty good nick. If you get a Hyosung brand one, it'll say Hyosung on the outside, and it doesn't have a hole here. That's the side that goes to the outside. The part with the hole goes on the inside. And there's also that rubber seal here, and that's one that you replace. The oil filter would be full of oil, so just put it somewhere to drain. And you'll probably have oil inside here, so just wipe that out as well. So you want to apply some oil to the O-ring before you put it in. So the easiest way to do it is just thread it over, and then this goes in with the side without the hole facing out. And just screw it in. Doesn't matter which way up it goes. might not fill into the dirty oil, but that's alright. I'll drain that into a container and then fish it out. Once you remove your bowl out of there, make sure you put your nut back in, otherwise you'll just get oil dripping all over your concrete. So you can see there's some metal filings in there. That's just because it's a new bike. Right now all these are tight and the sump bolt has been replaced and it's been tightened up. Next step is to put 3.4 litres of oil in. First litre. And the last 200 mils. So that's 3.2 litres. So the next thing you just want to do is just double check, make sure you've done everything up. Then you just wipe off any oil that's dripped on and then start the bike up. After a couple of minutes, if it's idle and fine, then it's good to do a test drive. So everything's good, there's no dripping of oil out of the seal. And there's nothing dripping at the bottom. There's a bit of steam coming off from any oil that's spilt on the exhaust and it's just evaporating. So that's just normal and you'd expect that for the next 15 minutes of riding. So now it's time to pack everything up and go for a test ride.
Yeah, so the new oil change looks good. Let's see if we get any clutch slip. No, that seems to be alright. Yeah, it seems to be a nice oil change. It's nice smooth oil in there now. And as always, you know, when you have just got brand new oil, you will get some better fuel economy. I've just filled up at the petrol station, so I'll just reset my auto. Usually I get about 230 k's on a tank. It would be good to know how much of an improvement changing the oil makes. Well, that's about it for this video, guys, and thank you for watching. Hopefully you got an idea of now how to change your own oil in your motorcycle, and if you've got a Hyosung GV650 Aquila like I have, then you know it's going to be pretty smooth sailing. There's no real dramas or anything. The main thing to remember is just make sure you got the tools, have a rag handy in case you have any oil dripping, and make sure you put the correct amount of oil in. So 3.2 litres for a complete oil change with filter, or just 3 litres without a filter. Well, I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Keep safe out there on the roads. Laters.